Barrister, let's talk about this CJN. We are talking about the same thing. Now, this woman was, I remember 2 weeks ago, we were talking about this issue of spending time and resources to appoint, to swear in someone in acting, that will be in acting capacity. Why wasting that time and resources? And I remember talking about the issue of wasting time, and you said that's what the constitution. I say, to you, it's not a problem to you, but to me, it's a problem, because we all know that when a president is performing his duty, so many things goes down the drain, which especially when it comes to finances, because there will be so many. The security system will be there will be more money which will be channeled into the security apparatus, because whenever the president is coming out to do something, so many things will have to be in place. The securities, they have to spend money for one security concern or the other to close up everywhere or whatever. And so many things. It will affect businesses. It will affect other people's itineraries. So I remember saying that. Now, just 2 weeks after. So my own listener, now, why didn't they wait? Why didn't they just, if Tinubu, of course, Tinubu knew quite right he will definitely confirm this woman's appointment. It just barely 2 or 3 weeks after, and he's doing the same thing. He's doing the same thing again. A sort of. Definitely, that means spending money. This is one of the reasons why I just hate democracy. Spending money in two different duplication of expenses. That is extravagancy. That is one. And secondly, this CJN. We are, for those of you who can't remember, who have probably forgot or who are not aware of the record of this CJN. This CJN was the one who, anyway, Barrister Manta will enlighten us more on that. He was the one who actually put this man in the office. Is it Hope Uzodinma, right? Yes, the governor, Hope Uzodinma, who was supposed to be the fourth person, who took the fourth person in the line of victory for the during the governorship election. She actually made him, as far as I'm concerned, she made him the governor. A very, very ridiculous judgment. This judgment, I will go by record, according to what we had, based on this judgment, the United States has banned her from entering the country. And now that is the word. That's why I brought on this topic. Barrister, how does it look that our CJN, now, in our previous episode, I have noted how those days Supreme Court justices, not just the CJN, not only the CJN, but when you are on the bench of the Supreme Court, they were so revered. In fact, people worship Supreme Court justices. But today, here we are, a CJN of Nigeria, the head of the third arm of government in Nigeria cannot travel to the US. What a conflict of integrity. What do you have to say about that? That our CJN number three, I would say number 3 citizen. Okay, of course. Not really technically, but as far as I'm concerned, that CJN should be because I consider, if we consider by constitution that the 3 arms of government are equal arms. If we consider them as equal arms, I consider the head of those organs as equal to the president as well. Because in reality, if we want to do things the right way, none of the 3 arms can succeed or can work well without the other. The 3 of them are intertwined. So one cannot work without the other. So that is the point. So at that juncture, it's just like the Senate. Why did the Senate president? Senate president they are the same thing with colleagues. He's the same thing with the same level with the colleagues. He's just privileged to be the one because someone will head. The same thing happens. So as far as I'm concerned, in my own opinion, the CJN is also the number 1 citizen, just as the president and the Senate president, as far as I'm concerned. So now our number 1 citizen, technically, our number 1 citizen cannot travel to the US. Barrister, what do you make of this?
Well, first of all, let me put a caveat that I have not been able to ascertain the veracity of that statement that Kekere Ekun, CJN of Nigeria, has been barred from traveling to the United States. But that is not to whittle down the horrendous judgment, the shameful judgment that became known as the Supreme Court governor. If the man was there as governor, and he gave them the confidence that, look, we can do anything and we can get away with it. That is what you saw happened in 2023. Now, whether he has been barred from the US or not, my take is that if he were barred from traveling to the US on grounds that she took a nationalistic approach to Nigerian issues, that will help the Nigerian system of governance, the confidence, but that's not the case. What she did was against the interests of Nigeria's governance, against the political interests of Nigeria, against everything that stands in relation to the governance structure of this country. But let us not limit it to her alone. She was the person who delivered the lead, or what is called majority judgment, the lead judgment. There were other justices with her that shared the same judgment. I think it's only one justice that dissented, gave a different judgment. She was just what we call delivery of the majority judgment. So by and large, she was not alone. She had the corroboration of other justices of the Supreme Court that made that judgment that brought Ozodimma to power. I repeat and maintain that it was a shameful judgment. It did not have much to align with the law, because what was presented, even assuming for the sake of argument that you go down to the brass track to check the judgment, it is like they brought a bag of votes or votes in boxes that were not opened and were not counted. Now you bring 5 boxes and say, in these boxes, there are 500,000 votes. All for me. Now, if the Supreme Court was serious, and if justice was the issue, you direct those boxes to be opened and the votes counted. See which one went to Ozodimma, which ones went to the other political parties. Nothing like that was done. They are accepted hook, line, and sinker that the votes, the boxes of votes brought by Ozodimma were votes cast for him. They had no way of knowing that. They are not INEC. They had no way of checking and finding out. Is, again, what I used to refer to as intellectual laziness, because they didn't want to do the hard work that will produce justice. They just said, okay, we give them we give the judgment. That should not be the role of the Supreme Court.
Yeah,
now,
anyway.
There were other judgments that followed there up to 2023. This is the result of when something starts going wrong and nothing is done about it. It now snowballs into something larger and something more detrimental and more damaging. We have seen that. So now she is the Chief Justice of Nigeria. She has come from a system that has been thoroughly discredited. She is part of that body of juries that have been discredited. I don't know how she will go on from there to assure Nigerians or give Nigerians some measure of comfort or faith, or restore that faith in the judiciary. I don't know. Unfortunately, she has not come out to set up her agenda, make a major speech that we will listen to and see if anything different is going to happen. That is the
what do you expect? Of course, me initially I knew quite all right. That's why I was surprised that Tinubu um swore her in as on acting capacity. Because I knew quite all right that these are the kind of people Tinubu will want to appoint. Definitely, I knew quite all right he will come. I knew very well that he will confirm her appointment because Tinubu will want to use her again in 2027. That is his target. He has used the immediate past CJN and settled him. Obviously, the guy is today now is a billionaire. He's going back to rest, and these people, honestly, they will not rest in peace. Anyone who has circumvented the system, who have colluded to circumvent the Nigerian system against the masses, they will never, with all billions, especially people like Yakubu Mahmoud, the immediate past CJN, they will not rest they will not retire in peace. That's just the truth. They will reap that what they sow, either through themselves or their children or their children. Because you cannot perpetrate any form of evil or act of evil and you go scot-free. Posterity will judge you, and that is just the reality. Something will wait for you in future. If not you, maybe your children, maybe your grandchildren, or your relatives. So someone very close to you, or someone very close. So don't think that you are not a billionaire. You're just going out to rest and rest in your retirement. You're not. You're not. They will not find peace. Anyone who has any of our leaders who has perpetrated act of evil against us, they will not retire in peace. And that is just it. So that's exactly what Tinubu is after. Of course, she has seen she is a tool. She said she was a tool in the past, and she will remain a tool. She will be a tool again in the future. And that is it. So they are there. They have prepared her already. They already have a stooge for her because, oh my God, this is unbelievable. Nigeria is unbelievable, honestly. She's already a stooge, and they are already there with her to use her against us. And that is just it. So we have Tinubu has the entire Supreme Court, not just the entire court now, all the Federal High Court, the heads of the court, the head of Federal High Court, the head of Appeal Court, the head of Supreme Court, all in his palms. Then he also have the head of INEC in his palms, all in his hands. Sort of. So what else? He has. Now, can someone tell me how 2027 election will not go in the wrong direction? There is no evidence. All the evidences, this man is just even gathering more and more momentum to all his actions. Everything he's doing shows the path that will lead us to the worst election ever. So I don't know what Nigerians are waiting for. Honestly, I don't know what we are waiting for. It's so unfortunate. It is so unfortunate.